I just left the Prescott National Forest and headed to my next campsite down in a little warmer weather. It was going to be freezing tonight, so I had to get out of the mountains. So I'm in a little town called Yarnell, Arizona, and there's a pizza place here called Gilligan's. Got pretty good reviews, so I thought I'd stop for a pizza. Very good pizza. Unfortunately, they put so much cheese on here, I forgot to ask for the light cheese. I just stopped for a couple nights here in just outside of the town of Congress. It's another BLM spot. It's near a couple old cemeteries. I'll go check those out tomorrow probably. It's a beautiful hill behind me with some saguaro cactus. And there's a few other people out here, but as you can see, not a lot as I turn around here. Down behind me there, when you first come into this dirt road, just about 2 miles in, but at the very beginning there was a lot of RVs. But up here towards the cemeteries, there's not as many sites. They're a little more sparse. And I had to do some leveling with the leveling blocks because I'm on a little incline here. This was the only spot available up here. I didn't want to be down below where there were more RVs. Just got here, so I have the hood open, cooling down the engine so I can place my motion detector lights inside there in case there's any rodents out here, which I'm sure there are. I came down from about 6,500 feet in the mountains to 3,000 feet. That's where I'm at now in Congress. I'm in kind of like a little valley of small mountains. And there's, we're back to cacti, saguaros, and mesquite trees, things like that. But it's not the complete rocky desert like southern Arizona, quartzite. That's what I love about this van life, is you just move around. If you don't like the weather, you leave. It's pretty much that simple. I guess as long as you have money for gas. Just kind of hop back and forth between warm and cold temperatures. At least until full summer comes and I know I can stay in the mountains. I won't have to pop back down to the desert. Got some mosquitoes here tonight. I feel so lucky here in Arizona. There's so much land, open land to camp on for free. It's just amazing. I've been getting a lot of comments in my videos from Europeans talking about how hard it is over there. There's really nowhere to camp for free. That's what it sounds like to me. There's no open public space for dispersed camping. I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like that. At least England said it was horrendous. It's illegal to camp anywhere unless you're in a designated paid campground. We do have the luxury, although it shouldn't be a luxury, it should be a right. It's public land. It should be a right to camp on there all you want. You know, as long as you're clean and not trashing the place. That's the town down there. I don't know if you can see it. It's very small. I think there was a Dollar General. It's definitely the Old West out here. It's funny how it's 2026 and you can find these small little towns here in Arizona where you really feel like you stepped back about 50 or 60 years or more. Just another awesome sunset. Sounds of barking dogs in the distance, birds in the trees, getting ready to rest for the evening. Everything winding down. No wind, very peaceful and quiet. I decided to make some pasta tonight, so we're gonna have kind of a pasta primavera. We've got some carrots, broccoli, white mushrooms, and some yellow bell peppers, and some garlic, minced garlic, and we've got some pasta boiling. I think we have rigatoni or something like that. Can't even see it now, and I don't remember what I put in there. And then next we'll cook up these vegetables. A little olive oil. and let those cook up till they get nice and tender. Okay, we have our vegetables that are done cooking. To that, I am going to add the pasta. Oops. I always miss. I don't know if I've ever gotten every piece of pasta in the pan without one falling on the floor. And then this was the product I bought, Blue Bonnet. So it is mostly water, then a vegetable oil blend, and then all that other stuff they put in things. You know, stuff you don't need, but let's see if we can use that to give it some buttery flavor. Looks like butter, just a little. And then we've got some soy milk here. We'll put some of that in. Give it a stir through. And then we'll put it back on the heat and let all that sauce form, let that butter stuff melt. And then we'll give that a taste. Okay, it's all done. How's that look? Let's give it a try. A little bit more salt. And some of that nutritional yeast. Yeah. Very good. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Just taking a hike up here to this cemetery. Old cemetery. Yeah, there's nothing new here. This isn't used anymore, obviously. They're just protecting the old grave sites. I wonder if we can go inside there. Get in. Oh, there we go. And we have the children's graves here. Well, this doesn't even have any stones. Headstones. I don't see any headstones. Or any kind of plaques. Now this one looks really old. This old wooden posts here. Looks like it caught on fire at one point, and then they fenced it in to protect it. There is something written there though. Let's see if I can see what it says. 1865 to 1954. Well, I don't know. That wood looks much older than that. Maybe it's 2 graves in one. And some of them are just piles of rocks. 1894 to 97. 2 years and 10 months and 13 days old. There's another old wooden one. It seems like this is all children. Well, this is my last day here. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. And I never got a chance to climb these hills. It was just so windy. All of the few days that I was here. It was so windy, I just didn't feel like getting out of the van. The van was rocking. Well, I didn't want to film him, but I just met an old guy. Listen to me, old guy. I'm an old guy. I shouldn't say that anymore. I think he was older than me though, so I can say that. And he lives up here. He's got 18 acres and he does mining. And this was actually a gold mine. So he told me some history. This area here, this BLM land that is open to dispersed camping and has these two cemeteries here. This used to be the town of Congress, right here. And it burnt down in the early 1900s, he said. And then the highway must have come through back then at some point, or a major road, because then they built the town further down that way, about 10 minutes away. So that's why these cemeteries are here. And right up there, just opposite these cemeteries here, I don't know if you can see it, but that was a gold mine back in the 1800s, early 1900s. And I was going to hike up there, but he said it's all closed off, and there's actually, the company who owns it has an armed guard who will shoot you, he said. So needless to say, I didn't go up there. Yeah, he was an interesting guy. I learned a lot about the area. We were talking for about an hour, I think. And I told him about the Gila monster I just saw. And he said that was pretty rare. He lives here, and I think he said he's only seen 3. And I told him how big it was, and he said that was a big one that I saw. And he did say, watch out for rattlesnakes. There's coral snakes, pink something, and rattlesnakes, he said here. And he said they're everywhere. This is the time of year that they come out, which I didn't know, so that was good to learn. Now I can't keep my eyes off the path I'm walking on. I'm trying to look at the camera here, but I don't want to step on a snake. And he said all these mountains behind me there are all BLM land. So everything around here is BLM land except for the area around the mine and the mountain behind the mine. And he said up there, I think you might be able to see it, there's a couple spots where miners in the old days tried digging out looking for gold, and they abandoned the mines because they didn't find anything. So there's a couple tunnels up there. And there's like 3 or 4 tunnels at the main mine, and they go down vertical, and then there's a tunnel, he says, that goes all the way between all the mines. But unfortunately, we're not going to see that. I don't want to upset the armed guard. And the sun's starting to set there, or it just set actually. Some pretty pink colors in the sky. I've been pretty lucky almost every time that I've parked on these BLM lands like this, way out in the middle of nowhere. I end up meeting a local, usually a rancher or a farmer, or in this case a miner. And just really nice people, and they always stop and talk. Just, very friendly. And it's wonderful because I learned so much about the area from these people. And it's kind of nice to get it firsthand and not AI that you can't trust. Ah, there goes a bunny rabbit. Just crossing the road in front of me. I think that's the second one I've seen. Yeah, so these older guys that have been here for years and years and have all this history, they just love to share it, I guess. Of course, he probably, like the other people I've met, when they live on this BLM land or near this BLM land, they just see tourists all the time. They're always seeing people like me coming here to camp. So they probably, that's their socialization maybe, since they live off grid and probably don't see too many people. So it's kind of nice. Yeah, I've gotten some great stories. The only thing I haven't done, which I wish I could do, is get up the guts to ask these people if they mind if I film them as they tell their story. I'm not really a documentary filmmaker, but I would love to document their stories and have them on camera one of these days. Okay, we're back from our hike, and the sun's just completely set now. It's later. Today was, what do they call it? Daylight savings time. So it's later in the day now. Okay, thanks for joining me on the hike.